Hello my friends, welcome to Special Yoga with Alexis. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video and practice yoga with me. This is going to be restorative yoga, primarily for staff, carers, parents and anyone else. Could also be for many children as well. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm about to do. All I know is that I would like to restore and replenish my energy, and I thought that I would record it as well. We're going to be doing some lying down, that much I'm sure of, and hopefully we'll just relax our bodies and our muscles and our nervous systems, connect more deeply to the depths within ourselves. So get your yoga mat, your blocks and mats and everything you need, and let's get started. So before we lie down, maybe we can just come to the floor or into our chairs, however we need to be situated. And whilst we're sitting here, let's ensure that our spine is nice and lengthened, but that we're not putting too much force into lengthening the spine, yeah? So hopefully it doesn't feel painful to be sitting upright. So we want the spine to be lengthened because obviously it's good for our posture, it's good for our health. But if it feels like a real effort, then it might be time for you to lie down now. So we're just lengthening the spine, crossing the legs on kneeling position or in a chair, and just connecting with your breath and your body. You might like to close the eyes. I'm just going to be here for a moment or two. Settling in, checking in with ourselves. Just checking in and dropping in. Can you invite the breath to journey into the belly now? Taking some deep breaths into the tummy. If you're feeling any stress or anxiety right now, if you're aware of that, maybe you like to breathe out through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders back and down. And let's just start to tilt our chin down to our chest. Chin down to chest. Spine is still lengthened here, so try not to round the back if you know that often happens. If you're lying down by this point and you want to tuck chin to chest, maybe interlace fingers behind the head just to support the head so you're not straining. Chin to chest, relaxing. Maybe we can just make some gentle swaying movements from one side and over to the other, taking our time today. No rush, no effort required here, or very little. Head from one side to the other. Notice how your lower back feels now, check in with that area too. Try not to forget how the rest of the body is feeling. You can always modify or change your position as you need to. You might find that we might like to just look up, making a full circle, making sure as to not lean the head too far back. Getting a nice stretch in the neck, all dimensions of the neck. Circles with the nose now, really nice and easy. One more breath out. And then at the end of the next exhale, just slow it right down and then maybe just take it in the other direction. Notice if you're rushing to keep up. Sometimes it takes time to process instructions and information. Be present to that. Slow it down. Okay, very good. Coming back to center, chin to chest again, chin to chest, and then slowly rolling up. Alright, here we are. Let's go ahead and massage our lower back, shall we? I'm just going to take both hands, mainly the fingers, maybe also the palms, and just massage the back. Massage the back. You can also use the thumbs as well. You can use one hand here or both hands. I'm going to use one so I can lean forward. Just rubbing around the sacrum, the lumbar vertebrae, the thoracic, or the beginning of the thoracic. I'm not going to go too high because that's going to make my shoulders tense. I'm going to use one hand, just making circular movements, massaging the erectors either side of the spinal cord. Might switch hands. Okay. And just rocking and swaying from side to side. Sigh it out. Moving the body like a river. This is a Qigong exercise. It's usually done standing up, wide-legged, but hey ho, let's make a variation or a modification. Moving the body like a river, waving through the spine. Really nice for the health of the spinal cord, spinal joints, synovial fluid and the muscles. Shoulders relaxing. Waving through the spine. Base of the spine begins the movement and then it waves through all the way to the head. Shoulders totally relaxed. And you can just rest the hands down on the ankles and the feet. Or, if you're feeling a little bit more energy now, you can take the arms up and just get the arms involved, arms and hands. Feel the rocking from one sit bone to the other. You can feel the very base of the pelvis and the glutes. Notice the shoulders here. Notice any tendency to tense up in the shoulders as well. Let's bring it back to centre. And just notice how your body feels. Just going to invite us before we lie down just to squeeze the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulders. One shoulder to begin with. This area, this muscle here, I believe it's the trapezius. You just want to get your fingers in there, really squeeze. Not too hard if you're feeling particular pain, but if you're used to deep pressure massage, it might be the very thing that your shoulders need. Squeezing those muscles here. See if you can just relax. And if you need to slouch a little bit here, that's okay. Just don't stay there for too long. We don't want to create any habitual, unhealthy postures. But make sure you get into those muscles there, and we can do both sides. So I really like to squeeze, really squeeze the muscles with the fingers, cupping the palm as it were. Squeezing with the thumb and the fingers, and you might like to squeeze the neck a little bit as well. You can also tidy up your hair if you need to. Squeezing maybe the neck a little bit. And again, let's breathe together. Okay. Right, let's come on to our belly to begin with. So, in fact, let's come to child's pose. So let's bring our knees wide. If you're on a yoga mat, your knees can go as wide as the mat, and the big toes are pretty much touching, if you can manage that. And we're going to sink the hips down onto the heels, or as close as they can get. And then we're going to let our arms go in front. Make sure your shoulders are relaxing. And then just forehead to the ground. Simple. Child's pose, Balasana. giving yourself permission and time to really sink into this posture. And then from here, we're just going to take our arms behind the back. Let's bring our knees a bit closer together now so we can let our arms hang behind our back. Either side of the legs now. Shoulders at ease. And then let's just rock the head from side to side, forehead side to side, like you're brushing the mat with your forehead. Ear to the ground, and then rolling over to the other side. Notice how the whole body takes part in this simple movement. Okay, now before we roll up here, I'd like us to do threading the needle. Go ahead and take your right arm back in front, stretching out in front without the shoulders tensing up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to begin to lift the head a little bit, maybe lift the hips a little bit. Knees can go wide again if you wish. Right arm is out in front, left arm reaches to the sky. Left arm to the sky, looking up over that left shoulder. Breathing in, exhale, hand comes down, thread that hand between the right knee and the right elbow, and the right shoulder rests on the mat. You can extend this arm further if you need to. And we're looking to our right side. Staying here for a breath. And then let's come back up. Let's do it 2 more times, shall we? Inhale, reaching up, looking up, twisting through the spine. Exhale, threading the needle. We can rest that elbow back down if we need to. Shoulder on the ground and the mat. Ear resting on the mat. Inhale, last time on this side, reaching up. Exhale, thread that needle one last time. Elbow to the ground, both elbows to the ground, ear to the ground, breathing here. Very nice. Alright, let's switch. Coming nice and slowly up, using that hand to support, left hand to the mat. Inhale, right arm extends up above you, up to the sky, looking up to that right palm. Exhale, threading the needle on this side. Right arm between left palm and knee, and then we can extend that left arm. Whether that arm needs to be up with the palm on the ground or the elbow as well. Just find your own variation. Right ear to the mat. Inhale, let's come up. Right palm to ceiling. Exhale. Threading the needle. And one last time. Reaching up, right palm to the sky, looking towards that right palm, not putting too much effort in. Exhale, threading that needle one last time. Right shoulder to the earth, left elbow to the earth, right ear to the earth. Okay, and then child's pose again. Wide knees if we need to. Find your own modification or variation. I really like the wide knees because it gives my belly a chance to breathe. However, of course, whether your knees are wide or not, you can breathe into the back of the body here as well. It's very good for kidney breathing. Breathing into the kidneys. Okay, now we're going to slowly make our way onto our tummies. We're going to extend our knees out, legs out long, coming onto our tummy. Now maybe, what about this? Interlace, or just rest one palm on top of the other. Elbows sort of parallel here. Shoulders aren't too hunched up. And let's just rest the mid-eye, the forehead, on that palm. And relaxing here. See if you can bring the heels apart like a book. We don't want those heels touching now. And breathe. Feel the body, feel the way the body changes shape here as we breathe on this surface that's lending support. And just notice if your body wants to breathe out through the mouth or through the nose. Then you might like to take your head to one side, resting one side of the head on that palm. And then you might like to try resting the other side of your head on that palm. Okay, let's come up into baby cobra or sphinx pose. Just making our forearms parallel. Forearms parallel. Elbows are slightly in front of the shoulders. You can see if our middle fingers can be parallel as well. Now just notice what the shoulders are doing here. Mine feel a little bit tense today, so I might just sort of move a little bit. I don't want to stay too static because otherwise things can possibly seize up a little bit. So I might just wave my hips or wave through my shoulders. Can always bring forearms further if that helps, or closer if that helps. Just really listen to your body here. What does your body need? And then I might do Curious Cobra by looking over one shoulder and then coming back and looking over the other shoulder. And do this a couple of times. Again, getting nice twists. Twists are so good for wringing out tension from the spine, and a spinal cord, as you may know, it's the central nervous system that travels up and down the spinal cord. And so that's like a super highway of messages coming all the way up and down. You think of like a motorway, how busy it can get. So when you do spinal twists and the like, you can really wring out some of that emotional and energetic tension that can get very easily stuck and stagnant in the spinal cord. So spinal twists are an excellent stress reliever, tension reliever, and perhaps that can be our next posture when we flip over onto our back. Take your time. Let's come onto our backs now. Take your time getting there, the way in which is safe for you. Don't be rushing on anyone else's behalf. Making our way slowly and mindfully onto our back. Let's rest our hands on our tummy. Shavasana, or modified Shavasana. Hands on the tummy, legs apart. We're not quite finished yet. We're going to do a couple more postures before we finish. But we just rest the hands on the tummy, legs wide. Feel the breath in the belly. Again, check in with the shoulders and the neck here, and the jaw. Deep breaths out through the mouth can really help us to alleviate stress and tension, as well as breathing deeply into the belly. Okay, let's do a full body stretch. We're going to slowly, gently reach the arms up high, overhead. Legs can come together now, if that's comfortable. You can point toes and fingers far away from each other. And then we're going to inhale again, stretch through the torso, breathing it in. Exhale, nice and slow, knees into chest. Knees into chest. Just notice what your capacity is here. You might have a habitual tendency to bring the knees right in, but really I encourage you to listen to your body. It's not about finding the best looking, supposedly best looking posture. Your knees might not quite want to go so close to your chest today, and that's fine. Mine don't. So I'm just going to work here today. And are the knees wanting to come together, or do you want to create a little bit of space between the legs? And either way is fine. Just might want to hold on to the shins instead of the knees. So I said knees into chest, but we're actually holding onto the shins here. You notice if I hold onto my knees, my lower back can come off of the floor. We want that lower back to be supported. So maybe just bring the hands a little bit further down. This can also help us to relax those shoulders, which we keep coming back to for a reason. Shoulders are a key area for habitual tension, chronic tension, gathering, building up. So it's nice to be reminded regularly to relax those shoulders. And I'm making the circles here without even thinking about it. It just seems right. It just feels like, well, that's what my body wants to do. Maybe your body wants to do the same. Maybe you want to go from side to side instead. Knees, making circles or side to side, or just still. Maybe that's what you need to do. If you do go in circles one way, you might like to just counter that as well. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. And then maybe you want to extend it into happy baby pose, taking the edges of the feet. Again, shoulders, what's going on here? Are we relaxing them? Soles of the feet to the ceiling or the sky. And here I absolutely love rocking from side to side. If your muscles are feeling a bit like they want some work, you can pull the feet down to work those hamstrings a little bit. You can feel them contracting. Rocking from side to side, getting a nice massage in the spine. Make sure the back of the head is against the mat and the neck is lengthened. Back of the neck is lengthening. Lovely long spine massaged by this posture. Happy baby. And you might like to bend one knee and extend the other. And then alternate. Extend one leg and bend the other. Flexing and extending. Okay. And then bringing the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together. Outside of the legs. Coming down towards the ground. Soles of the feet together. We are now in restorative tailor pose or cobbler's pose. Now you can bring the feet closer if that feels okay, but you don't have to. This isn't about becoming the most flexible or strong human being in the universe right now. It's about listening to your body and relaxing into it. Connecting with your body, your breath and your mind. Which is the ultimate goal, for want of a better word, of yoga. Knees relaxing inside of the legs, those adductor muscles, the groin muscles, really relaxing it. You can rest the palms on the inside edges of the legs. Breathe. And again. One more breath here. Let's take our hands to the outside edges of the knees or the thighs. We're going to use our strength of the arms and the hands here. We're not using the strength of the legs now. They've done some work, so we're going to use the arms to support the knees to come together. Gently. Knees together. Supine or semi-supine posture. Feet, soles of the feet flat on the earth, and either resting the hands on the tummy or out to the sides, plain arms. We're going to drop the knees one way and looking in the opposite direction. For our finishing windshield wipers. Knees down one way, looking in the opposite direction. Make sure you get a really nice juicy exhale here. Inhaling to come up, exhale to go the other way. Notice if you want to open or close your eyes right now. It can often be an indicator as to where your energy is today, quality of your energy. Inhale and exhale. Let's just begin to flow now into one twist and then the other. So just one seamless, continuous flow, just in one way and then the other. Again, notice what are the eyes doing? Are they looking around the room? Are they fixed on me? Are they fixed on your body, or are you just closing your eyes? There's no right or wrong answer, of course. Although if you are closing your eyes, this is an indicator that you might be just tapping in a bit deeper into your experience, embodied experience. Windshield wipers, go at your own pace here. Go at your own pace. Finding your own rhythm. When you're ready, bring those knees back towards the ceiling, feet to floor. If you want to do your bridge pose here, that's fine. Or alternatively, let's just go straight into Shavasana. I'm just going to do a little bridge pose here, just to give my core a little bit of an engagement, stimulation. Feet are pretty much underneath the knees. The arms resting by the sides of the body. I'm not going to interlace my fingers today. I'm not pushing too far. I just want to restore and relax. Breathing as I stay lifted for a couple more breaths. And one more before we come down. Slowly coming down. See how slow we can come down now. Each vertebrae connecting one at a time to the ground until we feel our hips and our pelvis connect. Then we can lengthen one leg out and then the other. And now you have the choice here to choose your variation of Shavasana. So you can bring the soles of the feet together again if you want to, or they can stay out long. We do recommend taking the legs almost as wide as the mat. Just helps the leg muscles to really relax. You can have the palms facing up, or on the tummy, or one hand on the heart and one hand on the tummy. Feeling the breath and listening to your heart center. Choose your own version here. I'm going to stay on my heart actually, that feels quite comforting and nurturing. Listening to our bodies. And just wherever you are, maybe just sense some gratitude for taking this time for yourself to practice this restorative sequence with me. Allowing that gratitude to be a way in towards more self-compassion, a deeper connection with yourself. And just staying in Shavasana now for as long as you need to.